sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare 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 re hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare 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 re hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare 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 re hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare 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 re hare 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 ram.
In the present space and time, there is coming a great disconnect from the reality of the dark as it is degenerating. Those within the sphere of the conflict despair and struggle around and fight the current and do not recognize a misalignment. The truth of the matter is that being out of context creates a great deal of confusion in the worldviews of the population. The polarization of the world is necessary to enact the dispensation of the agreement which will contain a resolution. Each moment in history is a planned, fully created vibration with an intention behind it that offers up a conclusive agenda towards the fulfillment of a plan of consciousness. The disagreement between humanity at this time relates to the chaos that is present in the change from one worldview to another. The higher cultures wish to see your entry into the new dimensions come with a clear continuity that will not bring added karma in this evolution. The fundamental changes being experienced have their roots in the expansion and unification of consciousness. The male-dominated active analytical left brain structure is being subordinated to the female-dominated intuitive right brain attractive systems within this cycle. The chaos of the transition is existing only within unworkable structures that operate in the singular power structure of the left brain, unfeeling consciousness that comes from a desire for dominance and power over others. In witnessing this transition of focus, power, and creative will, the universal energy is impersonal and cohesive. In order to bring forth a new era of the appreciation of life in the cosmos, power will be transformed and substantiated through the selection of the most pure and noble parts of the current world and utilize them in the matrix of the new as it unfolds. The transition will be quick and apparent as the stages of development will be accepted. The coming fifth night will begin to integrate the changes in consciousness that have been seeded into the mass mind. The past is not a clear benchmark to be able to predict the path of this energy as evolutionary change follows serendipitous courses. Your current political leaders throughout the world are dominated by the left brain, which is separated from power and is losing the momentum it had while it was able to leverage its capacity through the domination of weaker minds. Centralized power centers are finding that the ability to subjugate is diminishing, and with it the sense of control has lost its grip upon the mechanisms of political power. Direct confrontation continues in cases while the underlying support has disappeared. The approval of government actions based upon might makes right is without sustainability. As this momentum swing continues, the West will cease to be a political, economic, and hence military power and fall into the decay of rogue nations following dictatorial agendas promoted by formerly secret organizations. The higher mind of humanity is utilizing its own method of intuitive understanding to see through all the veils and cloaks of invisibility. the internet is a physical change of powerful spiritual interconnectedness, awakening instant truth and karmic awareness. The totalitarian agendas of the West are aberrant mutations now within the stream of evolving human consciousness. The ultimate end of Western civilization is the destruction of the culture through corruption, as higher energies escalate and spin at an accelerated rate that old structures are unable to sustain coherency and reach a point of collapse. This is occurring in economics, media, politics, education, the military, and the Western-based religions. The emergence of other power centers of culture and economic security innovation has already occurred in nations where there is at this time a seeming huge disparity between the nations of existing power and the nations of evolving power. Nations of evolving power are always the moving target, which will be enhanced by the necessity of nature to improve the species. The nation concept is also diminishing from a position of racial and ethnic geocentric alliance to one of shared beliefs, consciousness, and awareness. From the perspective of future concepts of nations, these will be colonized on the forefront of the maximum of the greatest good for the participants in the culture. The politics of geography and control has become the politics of resources and distribution. In the meantime, in consideration this future establishment of distributive society, there will be an interim development which is being established to form a bridge from a geographic society to distributed society. This transitional state is where world civilization is situated in the present timeline. In the physical markets, the acceleration is due to the shortening of the time to deliver goods in the marketplace and the speed at which a product or service can travel to its destination for consumption. In the realm of the ideas, the acceleration of thought has reached the point of instant recognition through online cellular and intelligent communication media systems, preparing the way for a telepathic unity. In lieu of this acceleration on both fronts of a distributive and telepathic society, it is also the influx of accurate accounting and ethical relationships of value. In the geographic model, the topology of coastlines, resources, mountain range, and other fundamental blockages held sway to the movement of commodities, which created additional supply and demand issues beyond the production and consumption formulas. The lessening of natural barriers has allowed for full societal communications between all disparate groups to the point of worldwide democratic involvement. The efforts of past dominant players of priests and kings are being undermined by the rising sea of knowledge and power to a level playing field. The new interconnected, free, distributive society will overcome the politics of dominance by geography and resources by economically becoming universally available to the highest bidder without the regard for tariffs, restrictions, political controls, and blockages due to logistics. This changes the economic landscape and the underlying value structures that have been controlled by a few bankers, corporations, and governments. The revolution of the distribution of ideas, commodities, and resources to enable the capability of all world citizens is about to transform ethical relationships.
Sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram hare re hare 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 re hare 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 re hare 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 ram sa re sa re sa sa re sa sa ram hare re